guys. I wanted to read a story to you. It's a funny story, and Max Sexton, I know you love this book. I found it in your chair pocket. This book is called Deputy Dan and the Bank Robbers. It's written by Joseph Rosenbloom and illustrated by Tim Raglan. And he is a hoot. I hope you all love this book. Deputy Dan and the Bank Robbers. There he is. Chapter 1. I live in Gulch City. Gulch City is a peaceful place. My job is to keep it that way. I am the new deputy sheriff. My name is Dan. It is Monday, June 1st. It is hot. I'm sitting in Sheriff Digby's office. The sheriff is my boss. We are having milk and cookies. We hear a knock. Who is that? Sheriff Digby asked me. I say I do not know. We hear another knock. Answer the door, says Sheriff Digby. It could be important. I always follow orders. I go to the door. I say, hello, door. No, says Sheriff Digby. I did not mean to talk to the door. I meant to open the door. Sure thing, boss. I open the door. Elmer Stubbs rushes in. He owns the bank. I smell trouble, says Sheriff Digby. I sniff. I do not smell anything, I say. No, says Sheriff Digby. I did not mean I smelled something. I meant I could feel trouble was coming. Elmer Stubbs is out of breath. He waves his arms. The bank has been robbed. I knew it, says Sheriff Digby. Big trouble. Elmer Stubbs sobs. The robbers took all our money. The bank is safe. The bank's safe is empty. Which way did the robbers go? Asked Sheriff Digby. Elmer Stubbs points to the hill outside of town. They went that way. I will ride to the hill, says Sheriff Digby. Deputy Dan, you hop over to the bank. Check the bank for clues. You want me to hop over to the bank? You want me to check the bank for clues? Anything you say, boss. I start out for the bank. I hop all the way. Boing, boing, boing. It is hard work, unless you're a kangaroo or a bunny rabbit. Elmer Stubbs is back at the bank. He is looking at the empty safe. There are tears in his eyes. I question him. Did you see the bank robbers? I ask. Yes, he tells me. There were 4 of them. I could not see their faces. They wore masks. I write in my notebook, 4 masked men. Anything more? I ask. Yes, he says. They were filthy. They needed baths. I write in my notebook, dirty crooks. Elmer Stubbs shows me a note. One of them handed me this, he says. Give us all your money or else, signed SGEG. I read the note. What does SGEG mean? I do not know. Elmer Stubbs does not know either. Do you want to check the bank for clues, he asks. I was just going to, I say. I take a crayon from my pocket. I check the floor. I check the walls. I check the ceiling. Check. I check the furniture. I even check Elmer Stubbs. He says it tickles. I do not find a single clue. Chapter 2. It is Tuesday, June 2nd. It is cloudy. I am sitting in my boss's office. Elmer Stubbs comes in. Did you catch the bank robbers? He asked Sheriff Digby. No, answers Sheriff Digby. I rode to the hills after the robbers, but they got away. The stagecoach just brought new money for the bank, Elmer Stubbs tells us. I'm worried about the bank robbers. What if they come back? I will pay you a reward of $1,000 if you capture them. There must be a way to capture those bank robbers, I think. I have a plan. We can put a sign in the bank window. I draw a sign. New shipment of money just arrived. Come and get it. The robbers will see the sign, I explain, and they will try to rob the bank again. This time we will be ready for them. I like your plan, says Sheriff Digby. We put the sign in the bank window. Right there it is. Sheriff Digby tells me, guard the bank doors, Deputy Dan. Keep them covered at all times. You want me to keep the bank doors covered at all times? Okay, boss. I go to my house. I gather up the bed sheets. I put them over the bank doors. Sheriff Digby sees the sheets. What are you doing, Deputy Dan? He asks. Well, you told me to cover the bank doors, boss. I think the sheets work just fine, don't you? No, says Sheriff Digby. I did not mean to cover the doors with anything. I meant to watch the doors. Yes, sir, I say. I will not take my eyes off of those doors. Chapter 3. It is Wednesday, June 3rd. It is windy. I am standing guard outside the bank. It is 2:08 p.m. I see 4 masked men enter the bank. It is 2:15 p.m. I do not see the men leave. Suddenly, Elmer Stubbs comes running out of the bank. The bank has been robbed, he shouts. Impossible, I say. He shows me the safe. It is empty. I do not understand, I tell him. I watch the doors all the time. I did not see anyone come out. Sheriff Digby arrives. What happened? He asks. The bank has been robbed again, groans Elmer Stubbs. Deputy Dan, did you watch the bank doors? Sheriff Digby asks me. Of course, I say. Then how did the robbers get away? I don't know, boss. Elmer Stubbs speaks up. Maybe the robbers went through the windows. Didn't you watch the windows? Sheriff Digby asked me. No, boss. You told me to watch the doors. So that's what I did. Sheriff Digby throws his hat on the ground. He jumps on his hat again and again. Finally, he stops. I don't know who I feel sorry for more, Deputy Dan or Sheriff Digby. Deputy Dan, he says, there is no time to lose. Pick up your horse, then come back here. You want me to pick up my horse? No problem, boss. Did I say no problem? I was wrong. I try to pick up my horse, and I try, and I cannot do it. My horse, he just weighs too much. I get an idea. I borrow a crane. Now, it's easy to pick up my horse. Sheriff Digby sees my horse hanging from the crane. For goodness sakes, he says, why is your horse hanging from a crane? Well, you told me to pick up my horse. He was just too heavy, so I used a crane. No, shouts Sheriff Digby. When I told you to pick up your horse, I meant you should get your horse. I did not mean you should lift your horse up in the air. I lower my horse to the ground. Now ride to the hill, says Sheriff Digby, and step on it. You want me to ride to the hill? You want me to step on it? Right away, boss. I ride to the hill. I get off my horse. I step on that hill. I hear men grumbling. Stop that stepping at once. The dust is getting into our lunch. I stop. The dust settles. I see 4 men. They're having lunch. They're eating scrambled eggs. The men are dirty. They need baths. My mind clicks. I say, I know who you are. You are the men who robbed the bank. Say, are you looking for trouble, they ask. Trouble is my business, I answer. These men are big. These men are mean. There are 4 of them. There is only one of me, but I am not afraid. I flash my badge. I am the new deputy sheriff of Gulch City, I tell them. Disappear, they growl. I will try, I say. I close my eyes. Shazam! I do not disappear. Hocus pocus, I say. I do not disappear. Poof, I say. I do not disappear. Sorry, I say. I guess I cannot make myself disappear. I'll have to arrest you after all. You are arresting the wrong men. No, I am not. You are the scrambled eggs gang. The men turn pale. How did you know? That is my secret. I stare at the men. I stare at them long and hard, and soon they begin to shake with fright. They do look scared. I wonder how he figured it out. Finally, they say, okay, you win. Then they tell me everything. They even show me where they hid the stolen money. The scrambled egg gang goes to jail. Da, 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 da. Deputy Dan the hero. Chapter 4. It is Thursday, June 4th. It is hot. I am in the sheriff's office. Elmer Stubbs walks in and he shakes my hand. Thank you, he says. You captured those dirty crooks. They are not dirty crooks anymore, I tell him. How come? I made them all take baths. Elmer Stubbs asks, Deputy Dan, how did you know those men were the bank robbers? Easy, I say. The men who robbed the bank were dirty. So were the men I captured. Elmer Stubbs shakes his head. Just because a person is dirty doesn't make him a bank robber. True, I reply, but there's more. I show Elmer Stubbs a piece of paper. Remember this, I ask? Give us all your money or else. Signed EGGS. Elmer Stubbs says, it is the note the robbers handed me, but I still do not know what EGGS means. Look again, I tell him. He studies the note. These letters are scrambled, says Elmer Stubbs. They spell eggs. So? Now I understand, Elmer Stubbs cries. Scrambled eggs. This must be the sign of the scrambled eggs gang. Elmer Stubbs writes a check. Here is the $1,000 reward, Deputy Dan. Take it. It's yours. Sorry, I tell him. I cannot take money for doing my job. Elmer Stubbs says, we can use the reward money any way you like. I think for a moment. It would be nice to use the money to bring a free circus to Gulch City. A free circus is a wonderful idea, says Sheriff Digby. Elmer Stubbs smiles. I love the circus. I might even run away with it when it gets here. Better not, I warn. Why not, he asks. Because I would make you bring it right back. Wah, wah. Everyone laughs. Gulch City is a peaceful place again, and that's the way I, Deputy Dan, like it. At first, I did not think that Deputy Dan would be the hero, but I'm so glad that he figured it out. I hope you love the book, Deputy Dan and the Bank Robbers.